Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Theodora Carter, better known as Coach Theo, and this is a space that I've created where I share information about navigating life's transitions with greater clarity, confidence, and anyone that knows me knows intention. And this week on all of my platforms, I've been talking about, sharing about alignment, the stories we carry, the quiet ways that we outgrow the old version of ourselves. And as I think about all of the topics and conversations that I've shared this week, one thought keeps coming back to me. And that is, I don't think most women are struggling because they don't know what they need. I think most women struggle because they haven't given themselves permission to change. And maybe you felt that way too. And that doesn't mean that there's something wrong, right? It doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. Your life may even look successful from the outside. Everything looks good, right? You have a career. You're meeting your responsibilities, right? You're showing up for your family, for your friends, at work. You are keeping your commitments. And yet, there's this quiet feeling that something is off. Something doesn't fit the way it used to. And that doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. That doesn't mean it's because you failed. But it may be because you have changed. And sometimes the hardest part isn't that you are changing. It's honestly admitting that you are changing or you have changed. And here's the thing, change doesn't always announce itself, right? Like, one of the things that I have learned is that change can sneak up on you. It's usually quiet. It doesn't always arrive with like some dramatic moment or a major life event. Sometimes it does, but most times it doesn't. Sometimes it happens like little by little. Because life teaches you things. Loss changes you. Healing done correctly changes you. Success also changes you. And this one, from experience, I can tell you, disappointment changes you. The experiences that you have that you never planned for, they begin to shape who you are becoming. And one day you wake up and you realize that the things that once motivated you, the things that once excited you, they don't carry the same weight anymore. The things that you used to tolerate, they now exhaust you. You have low tolerance for them. The things you once believed about yourself, they no longer feel true. Trust me, I've been there, right? The way you saw yourself and showed up, that changes. And that realization can be unsettling because now you're beginning to experience your identity. Especially if you spent years building a life around those beliefs, right? And that person that you identified as. And sometimes we keep living the old story. And this is what I see so often, right? We change, but the stories we tell ourselves don't. We continue living with the same expectations that we created for ourselves years ago, or expectations that someone else had for us, right? The story that says, I have to keep proving myself. Who are you proving yourself to? The stories that say, I have to be everything for everyone. How about being everything to yourself? The story that says, I can't disappoint people, the people pleasers, right? The stories that said, I've invested too much, I can't change now, I already put too much work into this, right? Those stories become so familiar that we stop questioning whether they're still true. And just because there's a story that has helped you survive, the season is changing. And it doesn't mean that you are meant to guide every season of your life with that same story. And so here's the thing. Permission is powerful. Sometimes we think we need a new strategy, or we need another goal, or a better plan. But what we really need is permission. You need to give yourself permission to redefine what success looks like for you. Permission to slow down. Permission to set healthier boundaries. Protect your space. Protect your peace. Permission to choose peace over performance. And permission to let go of expectations that no longer align with who you are becoming. This is a new season. That's not giving up. That's living intentionally. Because intentional living isn't about becoming someone else. Let me tell you, when I started living intentionally, it was a game changer. It's about being courageous enough to give yourself permission to change. And so, as we move into the second half of this year, I want to leave you with a few questions. Where have you changed? What story are you still living that no longer feels true to you? What expectation are you carrying because you've just been carrying it for so long and you feel like you can't give it up? And the most important question, what would you do differently if you gave yourself permission? Not permission from your family or your friends, not permission from society, but permission from yourself. Sit with that question this week, and you may be surprised by the answer if you're honest with yourself. And so if anything that I shared today resonated with you, I would love to hear from you. Leave a comment below. And in fact, finish this sentence. I'm giving myself permission to. I read every comment, and I genuinely enjoy hearing what these conversations stir up in you, right? And so if you're ready to move beyond where you're at and take an honest look at where your life may no longer feel aligned, I invite you to begin with my Alignment Audit program. It is designed to help you identify what no longer serves you, reconnect with what matters most to you, and then intentionally begin to move into your next chapter with clarity and confidence. And so if you enjoyed this video or anything that I shared, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone else who may need this reminder. So until next time, I want you to remember that you don't need permission to become someone different. You only need the courage to become the woman that you are already growing into. Who are you becoming? I'll see you in the next video.